Okay, so hopefully we're almost done here. So it's been a good lesson. Again, like and subscribe and follow the instructions to get to the Facebook group page. Okay, so this chart is fairly matter of fact. It's just a list of what is that G string. S4, I call it S4, string 4, but remember, some people consider the fourth string the third string from the top, which would be string 3. I consider it the fourth string from the bottom, third string from the top. So what is that G string cutout? So if we start root here, where's our G string going to be? It's going to be this is the string 1, string 2, string 3. It's going to be at the C right there. So the cutout is going to be 5A6. Okay, so let's see how that works out there. If we start a long pattern down here, root 2, 3. I'm going to do it down in the key of C. Root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2. Now here's our 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Okay, and that's the G string. All right, and saying the G string cutout S4 equals 5, 6 in A. So we've got 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then we would normally go 6, 7 root. So here's 5, 6 right here. We don't want to go out of this cage because let's look up here at the fretboard here. Where are we at? We're going root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's our G string. Okay, and the cutout for this is going to be right here at the 3, 4. So we're not going to go 3, 4, 5 and then do a double 5 here. So we're going to cut out at 3, 4, C. Okay, so here's how the chart works. My bad there. The cutout for the root 2, 3, when you have that on the bass string, string 4 is going to be 3, 4, C cut out right there. The cage shape in that box is E shape. That's just cage defining. C is going to be E shaped in that RE extra long. Okay, and I have a long R. So the cutout's at the 3, 4 right there. So let's look up here a minute. So we go root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4. We're not going to go 3, 4, 5. On the same string, on that G string, we're going to just do the first part of that, the first half of the string shape, and then come over with 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3. Back to the original and its fourth. So the B string's always going to be the fourth string shape of the top string, and the G string is always going to have a half pattern cut out. And that way we stay within this cage definition system. So let's look at the D here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, long. Okay, we're going into the long pattern there. Root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now normally if we just want to play away, I call this play away, we're going to go 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at this, we're into the next cage. We didn't want to do that. We're trying to define a cage. So we're going to exploit. So this is the cage with the D now. Let's get a nice color for that D. So we got a similar color there. So here it is. Here's our D cage. We're defining a cage, so we want to stay in the cage because we're defining it. Just like the cage system. We want to define a cage, so we want to stay in that cage. Even though my cage system is a tripentatonic, which makes the cages even bigger, but I'm going to stay in those bigger cages. Okay, the only one that makes it difficult is the half diminished because of the augmented fourth and the half diminished scale. Lydian fourth, it really just spans so much of the fretboard that the actual chord is hard to see. And we have to actually skip a string or something if you want to just play that triad within the cage. So we've got our D cage right here. So we want to stay in that cage. So normally when we have 4, 5, 6, we'd go 7 root 2 over here with the tuning warp back to the E pattern. Okay, so A, fifth of A is E, fifth of E is C, remember, because the E is a second inversion A minor in that system. So we've got the C tripentatonic is C, E, G, and the E tripentatonic is E, A, C. The others are all 1, 4, 5. D is D, G, A, G is G, C, D, and A is A, D, E. They're all 1, 4, 5. The other three. So here we are. We're going to do our cutout. So let's look at string number 4. We're going to cut out of this, so we're just going to go 4, 5 back to the open string 6. So this is if we had the capo, or just if you want to stay in the cage, but it's easier to put a capo. I'm going to put a capo down here so I don't have to deal with this D box way up here. Okay, so I had started down here with tuned to the C down here. Now here's down D tuning here. This is like imaginary fret nut or something like that. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to take the string shape fourth of this D, which is a G shape, to do 6, 7 root, as if we had a G down here. Okay, so it's just 6, 7 root, 2, 3, 4. So it's I made a little mistake there, but wanted to try and show you that that's what the caged bound arpeggio, okay, on the D, which is a Dorian. It's actually a Dorian, isn't it? Let's just play that Dorian in the old cage system, right? So we've got okay. So we've got all right. So that's the cutout, and the cutout's always going to be the same. To get the B string, we take the string shape fourth of the first or the sixth string, gives us the B string. All right, and we cut out of the pattern at the G string. It's always going to be the same that way, and that's the way we define and stay in the cages. But we can also exploit the system to mean that we can play any mode in any key if you put a capo on anywhere. So if I put the capo on the 4, it's going to be like this. Okay, so let's say this is, or I mean, it's the capo on the 4. Okay, so that the 4 is our open string. But you could also do it in E. You could do it down here where the E now becomes the fourth of what? B. So you can play in B. So you don't even need the capo. If this was your original, this is your normal fret nut. You don't have this. This is strings. Strings are here. You could play in B because E becomes the fourth there. I just prefer to do it in F. Okay. So in this particular cage, now I forget what we're talking about. We are in the new cage here. Now, by the way, what's going on up here? This is like an Andy special. I don't know what it is, but it's okay. Let's do that one more time. I got this Band-Aid on. Okay, so this is the trimodal. It's not necessarily pentatonic, it's just the trimodal triads of this cage. So we start with that.